Hello, entrepreneurs, dreamers, business owners, and happy people with high hopes. Welcome to Cashflows with your host, Cash Matthews.
All right, good morning to my friends out there in the world. Welcome to Cashflows, coming to you live today. Actually, I guess we're not live.
Live-ish.
But we're filming it live.
We are absolutely live at the moment that you click play.
Got it. Pretend like it's live and happening this morning.
That's right.
Hopefully that works. This will be
morning somewhere.
It is always morning somewhere. Well, we're glad you're here today. My name's Cash Matthews, and this show is called Cashflows, where we talk to people about different concepts of life. We call it the good life, John. And, maybe it's business or finance or health or even relationships. We had a great relationship coach on here last week who just absolutely was brilliant. And so we love bringing you answers and comments on things that are questions that we have in life. So thank you for being here today. Live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, answering the big questions of life. And our philosophy, as you see on the wall behind us, is fire, aim, ready. And Kenneth, I think we see too many people. Maybe they have a good idea. Mm-hmm. Maybe they have a thing they want to do, write a book, sing a song, be in a play, build a business, have a family.
Make a podcast.
And those dreams kind of get left behind. And so this fire, aim, ready concept is about taking the next logical step towards the things that are important to you. Nice. So we're here today with my co-conspirator in life, Mr. Kenneth B.O.N.G. Kenneth, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Cash.
Everything going good with you?
So far, so good.
I had a pretty good experience last night. I was working on the old Commodore 64 computer.
Oh.
And had put in my dual density floppy disk to get things fired up.
Right.
Fired it up in record time, got it going in about 17 minutes.
Oh, yes.
And got the Commodore loaded up and got loaded up onto my Napster account.
Oh.
And was looking on there, and I have some followers there naturally.
Right.
And there are some people in a chat room that have obviously been listening to the show.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you knew this, but you have some fans.
Mm-hmm.
And they're one of your fans, Hunky Chunky 37, had a question for you. Hey, I just acknowledged the names. I'm sorry.
Usernames are the fault of the user.
Hunky Chunky 37 had a comment for you. Wanted to get an answer to a question, and he wanted me to ask you. I've got it written down here. Hey, Mr. Kenneth, what's a guy like you doing in a nice place like this?
Well, thank you for your question. Hunky Chunky 37. 37? Yeah.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I feel like that listener may actually be on to something with actually the reason I'm here today. I'm actually here, not during the podcast, obviously, but maybe afterward, to break the world record for the longest nap.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
okay.
So maybe Hunky Chunky 37 can think about that when they get kicked out of their mom's basement or something. I don't know.
We'll dig into that a little bit later. Longest nap, I'm thinking that maybe you take a little shot of NyQuil. And
they have a new one out. It's called ZQuil. It's like, it's not even medicine anymore. Now it's just like a sleep aid.
Yeah, like I think you could use that to have like a kidney removed or something like, they're going to skip. It's going to put anesthesiologists out of business.
DIY surgeries and things there.
Well, I did the at-home appendectomy. I just took two shots of NyQuil and a Benadryl. I was golden.
Yeah.
Except I was doing the surgery on myself, and I fell asleep before I was done.
So nothing actually got
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, same problems as before. Sometimes you have to seek professional help. I've been told to seek professional help.
Yeah, from a local entrepreneur, no less, right?
Yeah.
That feels like that brings us right back around to our purpose today.
Well, that is our purpose, is to talk to local entrepreneurs who are doing things in the marketplace or doing things in the community. And we have as our guest today, Mr. John Killingsworth. John, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Cash. Good morning.
We are, our live studio audience.
Nice. I love it.
Okay, well, we are very glad you're here. And
likewise.
So welcome to the show. John has a company called Crown Solutions, and we're going to dig into that in a few minutes, a little bit about what's going on in your world and your past and your history. But we try to be an encouragement to the people who listen to this show, all three of them at the moment. But we're really glad you're here. So, John, we met at the Business Owners Networking Group.
Correct.
And we wanted to just get a minute of your perception, your take on what that group has been or what it means to you or what it might mean to you in the future.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, for me at the time, I remember looking for something that resembled a community, right? And
Yeah.
outside of business, right? And outside of kind of the normal social circles, if you will, business related though.
Right.
And entrepreneurs is kind of where I was starting out in my business. And so when I was seeking that, I found the Bong and ended up watching for a bit, then getting involved. November.
Yeah, we get that a lot that we have lurkers.
Yeah, I'm big at lurking. But once I got involved and could see kind of the chemistry of people and the presentation of what you were trying to build, I mean, it truly is a community. It's truly what I was looking for. It's not, as you say, everyone's out there looking for a sale, man, but I was looking for people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think people. There's a phrase in our group called tribe, and I think when you find your tribe, just the people that you connect with,
Yeah.
The very best.
Yeah.
And
You actually got it right there on your sleeve too.
yeah, right here. Oops,
Just in
sorry,
case you
madam.
forget.
Yeah, tribe right here.
Yeah.
Look at it. Pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Guess what I have over here?
Oh, American flag.
America.
America. Get her done.
We're getting her done here at the Cashflows podcast. So we have John Killingsworth here today with us, and we're going to learn a little bit about him and his history and what he's got planned for the future. And there's no secret that this particular podcast is happening almost on New Year's Eve. Not quite, but and we're going to dig into this later. But I have just got a feeling 2024.
it's it. I know where you're going, Cash. Yes, I believe 2024 is going to be it.
I don't know about you, but I'm in beast mode. Like this exact minute,
Totally.
I'm going to go kill an animal and eat it, and make a pelt out of it. Okay,
Sounds very manly.
so
To wear around your log cabin.
to wear around my log cabin
Yeah.
while I'm swinging my axe.
That's awesome.
You guys are weird. What are we doing here? Like we're supposed to be interviewing one of the pillars of the Tulsa community.
Yes. Yes.
And I want to get on with that. So I want to talk about, I met you a little over a year ago
Right.
at the B.O.N.G group, and we had some commonalities. And one of those one of the things I love the best about my life right now is that I've just made friends. It's hard to make friends when you're past 50.
Absolutely.
And maybe at all times, we don't
Mm-hmm.
just totally recognize that. But in the last, through this B.O.N.G experience and this Tulsa experience, we've made a lot of friends, and you're one of the, you and I've become friends, and we do things together, and we'll talk a little bit about that.
You bet.
But I want to hear who you think John Killingsworth is. Let's talk about who you are.
Yeah, well, first of all, again, thanks for having me here today. I've been looking forward to it. I love hanging out with you and as well. Always good time. So, yeah, I mean, simply put, John Killingsworth, I mean, I think we look at ourselves from a professional standpoint, personal standpoint, but to me, it's real simple. And I probably didn't always think this way. It's taken some time, right? Some maturity.
Sure.
But truly, I am a child of God, and that is the core and bottom line of it, right? And I try to live my life by what we call the 5 F's, right? 5 pillars of life.
5 F's. Okay, hang on a second.
yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
like my report card my senior year.
Yeah, no one likes those. Those F's are bad.
Yeah.
But it truly is. It's about faith, family, friends, fitness, and finance for me. And if I'm pouring into those buckets each and every day, I'm going to probably have a pretty good day and overall a good life.
Okay, so
That's the way I
let's
feel.
go back through those one at a time real quick. Faith is first.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, faith is the cornerstone, man. That's where I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? If you're a Christian, you absolutely know you can't live a perfect life.
No, that's why we seek it.
That's right. That's right. But you need to strive for that, and it is about glorifying God. I mean, that is what my life should be about. And when I get up in the morning, that's what I try to think about, right?
So those other 4 F's take care of the first F. That's how you glorify God, is through
Absolutely.
your work and your family.
You bet. And the second one is family, right? So a close second to the Lord is my wife
Right.
and my kiddos. So I've been married for 27 years to my beautiful wife, Lisa. I've got 2 beautiful children. Gabe's 25, Kylie's 21. And I've been blessed. I've had a very blessed life. And, the other 3 F's, if you will, friends, absolutely important. Relationships, right?
Right.
Fitness. I mean, I love to stay fit. Who doesn't, right?
You're 84 years old and you look great.
Thank you. Thank you, Cash. It's all those elixirs and pills, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, and the last one's finances. And I know that's passionate for you, and that's what you do on a daily basis. But again, those are the 5 pillars that I kind of try to pour in each and every day.
So as a young guy, when did you come to faith? I mean, we talked earlier, and you said one of the things you were looking forward to is just having a family.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenneth, I think you're kind of in that same boat, and I'm in that same boat. We just, finding somebody who would marry us, that's like, that was one of the miracles.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
about a sales job, right?
Oh man, yeah, I love it when ugly guys say they're not good at sales and they're married. I'm like, oh yeah, you're great. You are great
Yeah.
at sales.
Exactly.
So, but did you have faith as a child? I mean, were you brought up in the church?
I was brought up in the church, and thankfully so. My parents instilled those beliefs in me at an early age, and I say that because we tend to, gravitate towards what our parents believe as well. But ultimately, it is a personal decision, right? So, certainly, I grew up in that background, Baptist church upbringing. I mean, felt guilty all of my life, right, until here recently. So, anyway, no, love. I love religion. I don't like so much of the segments of it. I think it really is about a personal relationship. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I had that foundation set by my parents, and probably I think it was around 12 or 13 years old, sixth grade, give or take. I was baptized, accepted the Lord in my life. I was going to Falls Creek every summer, so who wasn't having fun,
Oh
right, with
man.
the Lord,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But I can't say that that's when I absolutely said, "Man, my life has turned around. I'm going to be awesome from here on out." No, I mean, I think you take on a big responsibility and you don't even realize it, right? As a
Yeah.
kid,
It's the foundation for everything else.
yeah, it's a moment of like you say, you're kind of growing your faith, right?
Right.
It's a seedling, and you have to pour into it, right? A little water, a little sunshine, a little word.
Yeah.
The word of the Lord does miracles, right? But if we'll just be dedicated and disciplined and put that each and every day. But what I found is as I've grown older, that no, that truly it is the cornerstone, right? And
Right.
you have moments in life and you have seasons in life that certainly can either, and our life is made up of our decisions, right? It's a byproduct of our
Amen.
decisions. So either we take the left or the right road, right? And not that either one of them's right, but we're going to
It's what
reap the
I like
benefits.
about life. It's cause and effect. Like you
Yeah,
make a decision, you get a
absolutely.
result, and then you kind of have to live with the result.
That's right.
And
So,
I think there's a beauty in that.
and if you seek the Lord, I believe in those downturns, right, in those
Yeah.
valleys, then it makes you stronger, man. It's amazing how that happens.
Well, let's
So,
go into the fitness part
you bet.
of those 5 Fs.
Hmm.
And I know you do a little bit of work in the fitness industry and the
Hmm.
health and wellness industry.
Correct.
So let's talk about that nutrition and health and wellness. And I think this is one of the most valid topics we'll have here on Cash Flows is health and wellness.
Hmm. Absolutely.
I don't remember the famous actress, and I don't want to say their name because now that we're live and out on the internet, I can get sued,
Mm.
and I don't want to have Brooke Shields sue me. Oh crap!
Oh.
Sorry. She's actually one of my favorites. But a famous actress once said, "If you die, you've lost a very important part of your life."
Hmm.
And so I know you work in the nutrition world, and I want to hear a little bit more about that. So, what are there? We're coming upon the new year. Are there
Mhm.
trends coming up in the new year? What do you see coming down in the health and wellness world?
You bet, right? I mean, everyone's trying to be the beast for 2024, right?
The beast, man.
The beast mode, and trying to typically, it's going to be health, right?
Right.
Getting feeling healthier, losing weight, incorporating some kind of fitness program and whatnot. The
Mhm.
reality is it's great to think those things, but as we know, it takes action, right? So it
Yeah.
takes a lot of discipline. It takes a support system, I believe, to be successful in it also. So, yeah, I encourage people to absolutely involve your community in those things and those aspects. It's going to help you reach your goals. But to me, those are kind of, I don't know, baseline, right? I mean, nutrition, yeah, it's very important. Most of America is not very healthy, though. Look at our diets, right? So everyone does need to lose some weight, right? Fitness program, that's only going to help you also through all stages of your life, right?
Right.
And if we're not healthy, we're not going to live very long.
That's exactly right.
So health is the biggest investment we have. But I think what's exciting right now is that we're seeing health just like everything else. Technology is just taken off. I mean, it's crazy, right?
Well, we see a lot now in the I don't know if it's age reversal, but the effects of aging
Absolutely.
are being. I mean, there's so much going on in the world of aging,
Hmm.
and it might be cosmetics, it might be technology. That's we're. I think the way we've approached health the last 100 years is just archaic. I think in
Hmm.
50 years we're going to look back on how we've treated disease,
Right.
or we're going to look back on
Mhm.
chemo and go, "Oh my gosh, how barbaric!"
Right.
We used to think
Yeah.
like putting leeches on our body was barbaric, but we moved. That used to be generally accepted principles.
Yeah.
But talk a little bit about the aging principles because I think a lot of people are interested in that. And I know there's been a lot of technological changes in the world of health wellness, particularly where aging.
You bet. Age reversal, longevity. Everyone's trying to live longer,
Right.
be healthier and whatnot. But age reversal, yeah. Now that you say that, there's a lot of things taking place, and this technology, I would say, um, the science has been out there for decades, right?
Right.
Just like the technology is now starting to take hold, which
Right.
is really cool. So I have aligned myself with, and I'm brand partner with a company that's what they focus on is reversing age, right?
And longevity.
No, it's
You-
not so much about longevity.
Is it-
It's about like you are going to get older, but your quality of life will be better, right?
Right.
Optimum health.
Right.
Here are the facts, right? So by the time we're 30 years old, half of our stem cells go dormant in our body, and thus that's the aging process taking
Right.
effect, right?
And that would be considered normal,
Of course, yeah, that is the normal process, right?
or maybe inevitable. Normal is like a pleasant word, but inevitable is a less pleasant word.
It's like paying taxes, death and paying taxes, right?
Okay.
But by the time we're 60, right, and we're getting up there, Cash.
I'm 62.
Excuse me.
That already happened.
Almost all of our stem cells are dormant. So
Right.
again, the aging process is accelerated now, but that's why we start kind of becoming a little bit more droopy, right? Losing a little bit of collagen, a little elasticity in our skin. Also in your organs, that's what holds your organs together, believe it or not. So you ultimately start degrading, and there's no doubt that the diet that we've had as Americans for the last several decades has played a big role in the inflammation in our body. So
Right.
inflammation is playing a big role in what's going on in our body also, and actually the aging process probably makes it worse, right? So that's where you
Right.
start seeing some of these other immunodisorders coming in. Some of the things dealing with as we get even older with Parkinson's and
Right.
help me out there, the related diseases like that, right? With mitochondria and energy, right? And the way
Right.
your brain works, it simply cannot fire off anymore. So anyway, I think with we're seeing stem cell injections, but certainly technologies come along as well that can reactivate your stem cells.
And some of it, John, as you age, I'm 62 and I've had some health challenges.
Mhm.
I feel great.
Okay.
And I've studied these age trends. 1900, the average age of death was 49 years old.
Right. Scary.
And somewhere in the 30s or 40s, we all stopped eating chicken fried butter, and began
We did.
nutrition and vitamins and medicines that came along that were actually good for us.
Mhm.
But I mean, as part of what you're talking about with stem cells,
Mhm.
is that literally just about feeling better? Because I've had times in my life where I didn't feel good.
Right.
Maybe I didn't have a disease, but I didn't feel good. And I think there's a whole horizon opening up about aging well
Mhm.
and feeling better while you're kind of going through it. Maybe it's more strength, more flexibility. What would you say to that?
Well, I think that's part of that exercise regimen. Yeah, you want to try to maintain your strength and flexibility, and your nutrition does play a role in that as
Right.
well. But regarding stem cells, I mean, those repair your body, right? So, but when we go through puberty, the aging process begins right then and there. Kind
Right.
of scary, right?
Right.
But basically, those are the things that are keeping you young and limber and flexible and repairing. When you get a cut when you're younger, it heals up pretty quick.
Right.
You get a cut today, you're going to be bruised for probably a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe I've seen some of that. Yep.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing is if you can reactivate those stem cells, or if you can get that stem cell activity going again, then you are healing faster, right? Your body
Got it.
repairs itself faster. So, as well as the brain, right? Reducing the inflammation in your body is so key. Nutrition has got to start there, but certainly there's some other things that can help. So,
I was reading National Geographic. It's actually on my desk in the office. And the cover story is "This baby will live to 121 years old."
mm-hmm.
And we are living longer. But my question to you, John, is are we living better? And one of my worries about longevity
Mm-hmm.
is who cares if you live 10 more years if they're years of agony?
That's right. Exactly.
And one of the things I see in my financial world is called the baby boom trap, where we have, older parents who've lived, but they can't take care of themselves. They aren't healthy. They're just living longer.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a value in living longer if we're not living better?
Great question. I mean, I would say most people would say no because they don't
Right.
want to be in pain, right? They would rather have a better quality of life while they're going through that. I mean, it's a sad state to see people go through that, and it's
Right.
circular, right? We end up taking care of our parents, and they raised us, right? So,
Yeah.
but the baby boomers, there are a lot of them right now. And in fact, we were talking about
Let's
this
talk about
just,
baby boomers,
just
because I
the other
think
day.
this is a good topic.
You bet. Not only were they a great model for us, right? I mean, some hardworking folks for one thing, set a
Absolutely.
great example for us in many regards. But in terms of health, those folks are very interested
Well,
in that
let's
right
talk
now,
about
right?
those numbers, because between
Yeah.
1942 and 1962 or 3 or 4, whatever the
Mhm.
baby boom generation is,
Mhm.
there were over 80 million people born in that time frame.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and that segment of the economy affected every other industry that it touched. So like when Gerber was formed in the 50s, it blew up Gerber. Kentucky
Mhm.
Fried Chicken in the 60s, and McDonald's. Zigzag Rolling Papers in the mid to late 60s became a giant company. Prisons became a big business.
Right.
The internet and the advent of the 401k and the IRA in the early 80s, that's kind of where I entered the business world.
Mhm.
And we've seen that blow up. And, so the baby boomers kind of turned in from hippies to yuppies.
Mhm.
And then they went to work for corporate America. But I mean, I think the question that we all ought to answer is, where are they headed next?
Right.
Because wherever the baby boomers go, the money flows.
Exactly. No doubt about that. So, I mean, they're a great example. They've led our corporations and in our communities for years, right? But they are aging. They're getting
Yeah, and
older, right?
10,000 people a day are turning 65.
That is amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
And they're living longer. And they say
Right.
the average life of a man is 74 and 78 for a woman.
Mhm.
Those numbers are inaccurate. If you're 50 with no major disease and you're married, one of you will make it to 100.
Wow.
So the question then is the same one, is like, what quality of life are we having in those years? Because we are living longer.
Mhm.
We are absolutely living longer and longer. We've got more cures for more diseases. Um, we're wrapping ourselves in bubble wrap to make sure we don't hurt anything.
Right.
So to that degree, it's a better world.
Mhm.
But I think your concern is more about better lifestyle.
Right. I think, well, you want to enjoy your time on earth here, right?
Amen.
And those folks that worked hard, the baby boomers, they deserve a good retirement. But unfortunately, really, because of our nutrition over the last few decades, it's the minority that are actually enjoying their um, twilight years, if you will.
Right.
Right. So those that can't afford it, then they are seeking better health.
Yeah.
In regards to where is the science leading them, right?
Right.
What are the two things, right? We talked about this the other
Well,
day.
the two things baby boomers want, real simple.
Mhm.
This is based on my economic study the last 42 years, and I work with lots of retired people. They want two things. They want to travel,
Mhm.
and they want to be healthy.
Mhm.
And let me tell you something, you cannot travel if you're not healthy.
That's right.
And so, I mean, what does that leave us with? Healthy.
Yeah.
And, there's a right time and a right place for everything. And I think that your industry, the health and wellness industry, if it hasn't exploded yet, man, it's about to.
Oh man, it is exploding, and people are getting in tune with it because they see the results of how they've lived for the last, again, several decades, right? And the results are not good. Obesity,
Right.
diabetes, all sorts of things, right?
Right.
Manifest out of that, and inflammation. But people are trying to find alternatives other than medicines, right? Medicines, there's a spot for them, but
Right.
I seek out more of the holistic and natural means of being healthy, right?
Right.
Doesn't mean that you don't need to go to the doctor
Right.
or have some medicine occasionally, but I think there's some great alternatives out there, and probably for many reasons they haven't gotten the attention they need.
Right.
But it's happening. People are waking up to that there are better alternatives for better health in
Well,
natural ways.
I'm a business guy 1st, and I'm a products and thought guy second on like how these things work.
Mm-hmm.
But as a business guy, I mean, the health and wellness industry is exploding, and I think technology is improving.
Mm-hmm.
And I think every time there's an advancement in technology and then an equal demand where that technology serves it, I think there's economic opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think some of these newer companies are coming along, Kenneth, that are providing services
Mm-hmm.
that we just haven't seen before. And you start to look at technology affecting industry, and we talked about this on an earlier show about how how the cell phone comes out,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden it's technology creates Uber, puts Yellow Cab out of business,
Right.
and technology creates pictures.
Yeah.
Kodak goes bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
And technology is disrupting the healthcare industry as well, with companies that are coming out with their own technology.
You bet.
And I mean, this is an exciting time. And if somebody were an entrepreneur and didn't know which industry to start looking towards, this is probably not a good time to go into CB radios. Right. Or
Pagers.
Oh yeah, like, hey man, I'm going in the pager biz. Or the horse and buggy industry hated the car industry.
Yeah.
And they didn't want them to come about. But guess what? You can't stop technology. And once we've seen it and once we've benefited from it,
Mm-hmm.
the whole world benefits from it. So I think what you guys are doing in the health and wellness industry, I think it's extraordinary.
Business is exploding. It really is. I mean, it's growing at a high rate. Again, people are kind of down mentally. So you have to be open-minded, right, to seek these things out. They don't
Right.
just hit you upside the head and show up for you, right? You can pray for it, right? But you still got to seek things, right? So,
Well, I mean, prayer has its own. God doesn't need to steer a parked car.
right,
I think people need to take action on these things. And
all about
what I
action.
like about you, John, you're an action guy.
All about
You
action.
you are a fire, aim, ready
There we go.
sort of guy, and that's why we wanted to have you on the show.
That's why I like it.
And we're going to take a break here
Okay.
real quick. We're going to do a little thank you out to our sponsors. Mr. Kenneth, take it away.
All right, let's do that. Today, we are going to embark on a journey into the realm of affordable custom gifting and branded excellence with CM Customs. I think we've heard of them before. From custom trophies to personalized closing gifts, lake maps, drinkware, and professional branded items, we're your go-to for unmatched customization, making you the hero of every occasion. Learn more at shopcmcustoms.com.
Those are some good people right there.
Yes, they are.
They've been very instrumental in growing this Bond group, and it's another business person. I've just become a buddy with Clarence Shaw over at CM Customs, and I don't know, making friends is it's a unique and wonderful thing. We are here today with John Killingsworth, and John, we're talking about some health related stuff, and your company is Crown Solutions,
Right.
and we're talking about health and technology.
Mhm.
We're talking about the baby boomers,
Mhm.
and so I'm guessing that your vision is one of excitement about
bet.
what's in front of you.
You bet. I don't think there's any better time right now. In terms of business opportunities, you're right. Follow the baby boomers. They're going to be
Right.
spending a lot of money.
Oh
right?
man, yeah, that's I looked into that. I had no idea what the baby boomers were, and at age 20, I got in the financial biz, and that's just where they were.
You bet. Well, a lot of the opportunities, I mean, with technology, you're looking at R&D, research and development, right? A lot of money
Right.
being spent there. So you're going to see a lot of that coming out of corporations and where they can kind of control it, right?
Right.
But fortunately for the average Joe here, right, there are companies that are coming out, and a ton of them are in the health and wellness industry, right?
Right.
You got to do your research and figure out which companies are the best, which products you like. All of them have good products, right? Or they wouldn't
Right.
be in business. But network marketing, I know we've talked about this, but network marketing companies really are kind of leading the industry in regards to giving people opportunities to take advantage of the business opportunity aspect of health and wellness, right? Yes, you can go out and do a brick and mortar. You can do that on your own. There's a lot of risk involved. There's a lot of money. Not everyone can even take that stress, right? But there are some great alternatives. And to me, what I'm seeing out there is, man, there are some special products out there right now.
The products, treatments, people who heal, like
Yeah.
Nikki Malone, who we had
Services.
on here
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago, and she's a healer, and we like Sarah Robbins, who hasn't been on our show yet, but she's a massage therapist, and I think we are seeing a new wave of actual healing come about, and
That's awesome.
this is a very exciting time, and I think you're in the right place at the right time.
You bet.
You got to be in the right place at the right time,
It's true.
but you got to be the right person and take the right action.
There it is.
And I'm assuming that I know you're the right person.
I'm going to be a beast in 2020.
Beast in 24, man. I got it, man. And you were miniature beast in 23?
I was a fraction of a beast,
fractional beast.
I could have done better, but hey, man, I think that's how we are, right?
Yeah.
We always think we can do better, and I do believe that it is about continuous improvement on a daily basis.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, let's talk about growing up where you grew up in Stroud, Oklahoma.
You bet, man. Stroud America.
Stroud, America,
Yeah.
like so, near Shawnee, where I grew up.
That's right.
And I guess, did you guys go into Shawnee if that was the big city?
That was where we would take dates. Yes, we
Oh.
would.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a movie theater there off the main highway. We would. That's got to be 99, Highway 99. goes through there.
Yeah, Harrison that runs right through town. Yeah, that
But-
movie theater. Yeah.
But after that, yes, we would always drag the poo, right? Kickapoo Street or Avenue or whatever it was, right? But yes, we would go to Shawnee for our dates.
We call that cruising the poo.
Cruising the poo. Kickapoo Street, right? Something like that.
I just said cruising the poo in front of 4 people.
Yeah. 5. We actually had a 5th listener tune in today.
Oh, did we really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, was that that wasn't your fan down in Wewoka, Oklahoma?
No.
Okay, very cool. So tell me, just tell me about life in Stroud. I drove through there the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Stroud's what, 2,500 people, 3,000 people, somewhere around that size?
Probably not anymore. It's probably closer, probably 2,000 and under.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
Okay.
they've really kind of shrunk up over the years. They do have the largest parking lot in Oklahoma right there going down the turnpike.
Right.
So the tornado that came through there, I believe in 95, somewhere along there, that time frame, basically just demolished that outlet mall. And so they haven't rebuilt it.
That's right. Okay.
You know, great insurance story for the owners there, but they didn't rebuild, so it's not a great site for Stroud. But back in the 70s and 80s, I don't think there was a better place for me to grow up, right? I mean,
Yeah, what's it like growing up in a small town? You still have a bunch of your friends from high school?
oh, I do, man. That's what's odd. I mean, my wife thinks it's kind of weird, and other people think it's weird. And you occasionally come across some people that have this type of relationship, and I think it's pretty
Right.
special. But I'm still really good friends with many people that I grew up with.
Right.
That community was tight. Everyone was your parent, right?
Right.
If you did something,
Oh, yeah.
your
man.
parents were going to.
Until you've had your butt beaten by one of your friends' parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's a special moment as well.
that is a different world.
But
And then your parents like, wait, hang on, and then they beat on you.
yeah, oh yeah, no, you got the
it's-
double dose,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, we're double whammy. I've had that a few times.
You know, the principal calls your parents, hey, guess what? John's in the principal's office. We're getting ready to warm him up here. Oh, great, man.
Yeah, light
Just
him up,
wait
man.
till he gets home.
Yeah. Lean into it, would you?
Warm him up for me. But you know, the great thing about that is, unlike today, we would take off on our bicycles, right? I knew you'd like that one. But
Yeah,
we would literally take
absolutely.
off on our bicycles, go to our friend's house. More friends would gather. I mean, it's like, you know, really cool gangs cruising around town together, right? And you came home when it got dark, right?
Yeah.
And that's when dinner was ready.
Life's
So it
a
was
little more
perfect timing.
safe, a little more laid back,
Yeah.
a little more trust.
Yeah, it was absolutely just, man, we felt like we owned that little town in community. It was awesome. So, you know, unfortunately, times change. It's not the same town. Still love it. Still have a huge affinity for Stroud. I've got a lot of pride. Go back at least once a year. And love the people, even if I don't know them. You're from
Yeah.
Stroud, man. We got something in common. There's something about that. That town made me who I am.
Yeah, that's cool.
The competitive nature that I've got, which is, I think passionate is the right word.
Well, you played sports in high school. You
Mhm.
played baseball through college.
I did, but I played all sports in school, and I did end up quitting football in high school. But I wanted to focus on basketball and baseball. Basketball was my favorite. It makes sense, right? I'm 5'11",
Yeah.
white guy. I mean, it makes a lot of sense there. But I ended up playing baseball in college, and I just love sports. I love the competition. I love the discipline of getting better. I love, just
I played baseball through high school. I loved
Okay.
it. Like baseball's one of those sports that everything about it's a team sport. And
Yeah.
It's got a smell. Like baseball has a smell to it. I do miss that camaraderie. And I think we get out later in life and we're trying to find that kind of camaraderie. And
You're right.
we find it in these weird, of course, we don't chew tobacco or slap each other on the butt at the Bond group. Maybe we should start doing that.
Yeah, just grab your crotch a little bit more often. You know, I mean, I don't know. The
Well,
baseball players get accused of that quite a bit, but
So you left. I mean, you left the
Mhm.
nest in Stroud. I mean, were you married? Did you get married while you lived in Stroud?
no, it actually took me a few years. I think I was looking for that special someone and took my time doing it. I had a lot of fun in college, probably too much. Minored in some social activities as well, but I ended up coming out of there on the 5-year program with
Yeah.
with a marketing degree. So I was ready to get after it, but. Looking back, it was a lot different. You didn't lean on your parents. Your parents didn't have a lot of input.
Right.
Certainly, they were probably giving you some cash here and there, but it was like, hey, buddy, as soon as I graduated, it was like, hey, man, you're on your own. Big
Good luck.
guy.
Go get 'em.
Congratulations, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man.
So you leave college and you enter the professional world. I mean,
Mhm.
So I know you've worked in the oil industry as well.
Right. I've been an oil and gas or energy professional for the last 30 years. Again, big blessing in my life. When I came out of college and got my degree, again, had that fire in me, but didn't really know where to
Yeah, what
aim,
to do
right?
with it,
Yeah,
yeah.
what to do with it. But I was just kind of back then, you know, looking at our parents and grandparents, you got a great job, got good benefits, and you're going to retire there.
And you stuck it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and you stay
What
there for
happened?
30. Right.
Tell me about your plan.
Yeah, corporations going public and quarterly earnings, and those things get in the way, right?
Yeah,
They
do.
kind of run the family type businesses that turn into corporate culture, and especially when you go public, those guys are being measured against a different standard. So they have other priorities, certainly
Right.
understandable, but it's eye opening as a young person coming up. But the first company I stayed with, I still owe them a lot. Those people that poured into me there and gave me the opportunity was at Wilbrow's, and I stayed there for 10 years.
Wow.
And I hated to leave. You know why? Because the people.
Yeah.
I mean, it
I
absolutely
think
tore me
people
up.
make a difference. That's where I'm
Absolutely.
learning that.
Relationships are the key.
Yeah. So 10 years there, then what?
Then I had my first management opportunity at another smaller competitor, and I stayed there for 8 years. But it was my first management opportunity. I was never going to see that opportunity at Wilbrow's, right? So
Right.
I felt like I had to take it, even though it hurt. I had to take it. Lo and
Right.
behold, man, when I did that, I mean, it goes back. This is a big part of my testimony. That's because we'd had Kylie at the time, and she was a special needs kiddo, right?
Right.
So we had to make a decision, and wasn't making a whole lot of money. In fact, we were probably going in the red every month, right? Lisa was working also. We had 2 incomes and still struggling, right? So, but we made the choice at that time that Lisa was going to stop work, and right after that, not only did we sell our house that had been on the market for a year, I got a new job that gave me a good boost in salary, and that's all I needed was another opportunity.
Right.
I mean, with the fire and passion that I had, didn't know how to use it necessarily, but if you wanted to battle, I mean, I felt like I could win, right? So that turned into one of the best opportunities of my life because at Wilbrow's, I probably over 10 years got 5 raises that were cost of living type,
Right.
1.5%, 2%, 3% was huge.
Right.
I remember those times. It
Yeah.
was fun.
Good days.
And I went over there, and within the first year, I got like 3 raises, right?
Wow.
I mean, and with my 8 years there, I mean, my salary it was crazy. That was the Lord, man. I just look back and can see it.
Awesome.
But I had to take faith and take that step of leaving that nest as well. A lot of security, right? We start feeling secure and get fearful of leaving. But
So you left the corporate world. How was that for you?
yeah, that was unexpected, I would say, right?
Right.
But I think this affected a lot of people. COVID uh, probably hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, it did.
But looking back, man, again, one of the biggest blessings in my life.
Right.
Wow, opened my eyes. For 27 years, I had one income. Now, I did well. I've been very blessed. Raised a family, did all that. But for 27 years, had that one income. So when COVID hit, guess who got furloughed
Yeah.
and then eventually laid off? Me, the person who had been over those last, decade or so, been the one that was having to make those decisions. Now it was me. And I got to admit, it was a little scary, even though my kiddos were somewhat grown at this point.
Right.
Had one still in the house going to school, but it was still scary. But what it showed me was this. Wow, dude, for 27 years, you had one income. How silly was that?
Right.
So that kind of became my next part of the testimony. Like, what am I going to do now? I'm going to implement several streams of income. That's going to be my priority.
Right.
What's the number? 6, 7, 8? I don't know, but you can't do all 6 or 7, 8 right now. Maybe in 2024 now.
But 2024, it's coming.
But you got to constantly kind of plant the seed and let it grow, right? And too often people plant a seed and then they quit, and they plant a seed and then they quit, and they plant a seed and
Right.
they quit.
They never see it grow.
Right? You have to see it through. You have to go through the seasons. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy and take root real quickly. But what I found is that was going to be now my passion, right?
Right.
I wanted to be an entrepreneur now, right? So it gave me an opportunity for a new life. And that's when I started seeking what? Community and
Right.
people. And I found the B.O.N.G, and I found Cash Matthews and Kenneth and everyone else.
Now here we are.
And now here we are. So yes, man, my world has changed and I couldn't be happier. And guess what? It took a lot of pain to get here. So in terms of, the uncertainty, the fear, no money coming in, I've never had unemployment before, but I'm telling you what, brother, that's not enough to even pay for one day of expenses, right? I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah. That's
So I understand, and it does make you more empathetic towards people that are going through those struggles. But I'm here to tell you that not only are there opportunities out there for not only me and others, you just simply have to seek them out. And for people like us who are entrepreneurs, especially in network marketing, we thrive on helping other people.
right.
That's part of
I think those
that
are the
model.
people that's successful that are successful in that model the most is those who genuinely want to see somebody else make it.
Yes, you're absolutely
And
correct.
that's why we started the Bong. I want to, we are bent towards, hey man, let's look, come on in. The water's fine. We've cleared the path in front of you. We've run down the path in front of you 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you some of the, be careful of these things and look for these things. So I admire what you're doing. How could a young entrepreneur, I mean, they could connect with you and learn some of these lessons that you've learned both in corporate America and in individual self-employed, oh my gosh, it's crazy America.
Yeah.
I mean, they could come and learn from you, right? So you're open to mentoring people who are just transitioning into entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. Love that
Yeah.
part of it. Love that season of my life now, right? I've kind of lived my corporate life, if you
Right.
will, and raised my family, and I have more time on my hands now. So I invested in myself and personal development, pouring into others.
Okay.
And there's no bigger satisfaction than when you help someone else, right? And the great thing about what I'm doing now is I not only can help them with their health, I absolutely can help them with their wealth. And for most people, that's too big of a word, but it's their debt problem, right?
Yeah.
They don't have enough income,
Right.
but yet they keep doing the same thing.
Over and over.
That model does not work. Yes, sometimes you have to have a job, but work towards something bigger and let someone else help you. Leverage those relationships, leverage that experience. I would say this, that everyone does need a mentor or a coach or someone that they can partner with. That's what I really like, is partnering up with people that are driven, right? And
Yeah.
after the same types of goals.
Well, I like what you just said there. And I was talking to a young guy the other day about business and entrepreneurship, and I asked him if he'd considered joining somebody's network marketing company.
Mm.
And they're struggling, wife and a couple of kids and a bunch of bills. And he goes,
Right.
I just don't know if I'd be comfortable doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait, are you comfortable with all these debts?
Right. Exactly.
Like, how did you get comfortable having all these debts and the bill collector?
Yeah.
And they were talking about their job. They were not yet an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just trying to be funny. I'm like, hey, boss spelled backwards is double SOB. And they didn't think that was as funny as I thought it was.
Right.
But we learn how to put up with a certain amount of grief on one side,
Mm-hmm.
when if we could just put up with that same amount of grief on the freedom side,
Mm-hmm.
that man, it would be life changing.
Yeah, security actually is probably one of your enemies, right? When you feel safe
yeah.
and secure, you're not growing most likely, right?
Right.
But it's also a false sense of security, as I mentioned. If your job is what's keeping you, what you think is security, and if you lose that, what do you have left, right?
Yeah. What would you rather have, security or liberty?
Yeah.
Well, and if you choose security over liberty, most likely you'll have neither.
That's correct. That's
And
right.
I think like that we're in a room full of dudes that are choosing liberty right now,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we're the wackadoodles in the world and just don't realize it. But man, I'm 62 years old, and I don't know. I like the fact that I wake up when I'm done sleeping,
There you go.
and I like the fact that I go to bed when I'm done staying awake,
Yeah.
and I hang out with people that I like to hang out with. And
Yeah.
I think your invitation to people to have that lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and to be clear, they have to build it and develop it,
Right.
and it ain't easy,
No,
and it's a little bit scary.
it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah, but that's why they would want to partner with a mentor like you.
Absolutely.
They can lock arms with you, and when things get weird or tough, if they do, they don't
Mhm.
for everybody, but there's somebody there with you.
I feel like that I can say this with absolute confidence, man. I guarantee you're going to change for the better, one way or
Oh,
another,
yeah.
right? Because again, network marketing has other benefits. You're building your skill set as well, right?
Yeah,
People that say, "Well, I don't want to do that," those are pyramid schemes, right?
right.
They want to go get a brick and mortar business. Shoot, yeah, man,
Right.
go all in, get you $500,000 out there, big boy, right?
Yeah.
Put it all on the line and see what kind of stress that does.
Yeah, that's always been a struggle. Is what does it
Yeah.
cost to actually start a business?
Sure.
And man, I'm chasing liberty. Like I want freedom,
Yes.
and I
want-
think what you guys are doing, represents an opportunity.
you.
And I would invite
Thank
our
you.
listeners to connect with John Killingsworth on Facebook. John, tell us real quick your favorite hobby. I think I know the answer to this. But
Yeah, well-
let's hear it from you.
I mean, again, things change over the years, but where I am now, I'm pretty passionate about golf, and I put a lot of time and energy into improving my game in golf. But what I find most enjoyable is it just makes me sharper, right?
Yeah.
You can lose your cool on the golf course, and it's hilarious to see someone do that, right? Because it doesn't make any sense at all. All right,
Right.
You're out there to have fun, right? But what I find is that it helps me compete against myself and
Right.
keep myself strong and mentally strong and fortitude. And I mean, Man, you want to melt down. Go to a tournament and tee off on one and hit it in the junk, and then hit your next tee ball in the junk and score a
Right.
10 or 11 on the first hole, and then try to finish strong.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
That's
You
a
know,
challenge.
golf is the greatest game in the world,
I think so.
and you and I both played baseball.
hmm
And baseball is a game that's reactionary. The ball's coming at you, you catch it, you throw it,
Right.
you hit it. But golf, man, that stinking ball's just sitting there.
That's why it's so frustrating.
It's just
right?
sitting there. It's not doing anything, and
How
it won't move. And you can have a do-over. You can't have a do-over in baseball.
Right.
When they hit it hard down the third baseline and you miss it, hey, I need a do-over.
You're out.
But in golf, man, it's just sitting there till you hit it.
That's why it's so frustrating, I think, to so many people. Like, how hard can this be? It's sitting still,
Right.
but yet it is. It's a mental game.
And every time the ball goes exactly where you hit it. I mean,
It does.
oh man, yeah, it does. Because if you hit it and it hits a limb and then hits a bird and goes in the ocean, that's where you aimed it. You should have taken those variables into account.
Lots of variables on the course as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same with golf. We're here today with John Killingsworth, and we're talking about health and wellness and business, and talking a little bit about golf, and we're talking about these ideas of promoting entrepreneurship and excellence, and I think in your case maybe being a mentor for people who might want to enter the entrepreneurial world.
You bet. The one thing I would say, so my Crown Solutions business is really born out of being a business consultant, right? With my background in business over the various years, but truly, a lot of it involves executive coaching, right?
Right.
And what I absolutely love to do as part of the B.O.N.G community really is, giving my time and energy to help those folks, right?
Right.
And I'm not going to charge those folks anything, right? But I'd love to help them be successful, because what happens is if I help them be successful, then they may come to me for a little bit more, right, at some other point. But it is always about helping other people. The other aspects of that involve, the network marketing businesses and helping other people get plugged in to get out of debt,
Right.
to figure out that there is financial freedom, time freedom, and such, right? But those things are realistic, but you simply need to reach out, right, and ask, seek, and knock, right?
And you brought up a good point about having a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what a lot of people do when they have something in front of them, what I have found in my career working with lots of wealthy people and successful people, is that wealthy people make up their mind quickly and change it slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And people who are struggling, it's sort of like the ready, aim, fire thing, because most people are ready, aim, and they never pull the trigger. That's why we are fire, aim, ready. And what I find a lot of people doing is getting bad information from the wrong people. Hey, here's an opportunity that can change your life. It changed mine. I'd love to share it with you. And they say, okay, let me check it out. Let me think about it. And they go ask their brother-in-law who's broke.
Right.
And I want to, we're going to get a nugget from you before we wrap up your show.
Sure.
And we want to hear that. But I think, maybe some advice that you and I would mutually give is be careful whose advice you take.
You bet.
You might get their lifestyle as well.
Absolutely, man. Your life will be a reflection, as they say, right? You're the average of the 5 people you hang around the most,
Right.
So if you don't like where your life is or how your life is going, then you simply have to change your circle of friends. Now, that sounds a little harsh to some, but man, come on now. That's the reality. You need to do that for yourself and for your family, right?
Amen.
So, you do have to reach out and find some people that are modeling and have had the success that you're looking for. So,
I got busted in the 3rd grade for copying off my neighbor. Turns out to be the smartest thing you can do. Like I knew in the 3rd grade
Right.
how to be a successful entrepreneur. All right, we are here with John Killingsworth. We're going to wrap it up. John, give us a nugget, something that we can use in life, something that we can use in business, something that you live by.
You bet. I think from the life aspect, I'm going back to my very first comment. I think you do have to rely solely on God, right? You need to wake up trying to glorify God and seeking His will each and every day. But secondly is just to follow up with what we just mentioned is find a mentor, find a coach, find others that have the mindset that you are, that are chasing the dreams that you have, right? That will support that, because most likely, sadly, your friends and family won't. So you have to reach out and seek that mentor, coach, or like-minded folks. That's what I would say. And the earlier you can do that, guess what? The better off you're going to be.
I don't know if everybody's really out for your success.
No, you're right.
And that's why I don't give away like lottery tickets at Christmas. Hey, I got this nice coffee cup and you got $1 million. But I don't know that everybody's really out for our own best interest. And maybe more often than not, they just don't know what advice to give and they want to protect us. But the real answer is you can't steal second base and keep both feet on first.
That's absolutely
One
right.
baseball player to another.
That's right.
We're here today with John Killingsworth, and he's with Crown Solutions, works in the health and wellness industry, and is growing a team here in the United States of America, Tulsa
right.
Beginning Points. And Kenneth, we about ready to wrap her up for the day?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, so we want to thank everybody that stopped by. Special thanks to our sponsors here on the board behind us today, coming from Elevate Coworking, deep in the heart of Tulsa, Oklahoma. CMCustoms.com, who provide the signs and
Custom things
and prizes and gifts. They do cutting board gifts, like you can put
Yeah,
grandma's
yeah.
recipe on a cutting board. I think that would
Yeah.
be such a great gift. And
Good sentimental reminder of people. Yeah.
yeah, and Kenneth Bauckham Photography, Video and Podcast Studios. Thank you for all you do, sir. And thank you all for being here. This show is about you taking steps. One step at a time, we can make things happen. So today, Kenneth, I want to encourage everybody, be nice to each other. Go love on somebody that you've neglected a little bit. And more importantly, find somebody today that you can forgive, even if they don't deserve it, because I think that's God's plan for our life, is that we love one another. The greatest of these commandments is love. And Kenneth, I love our 4 listeners out in Wetumpka who regularly log on, and to our 2 or 3 buddies who daily like our posts. Kenneth and I are fixing to head over to Brahms for a burger. Come on down. We will have a little pimento cheeseburger with you. We love you guys. Thanks for being part of Cashflows. We'll see you next time.
That's our show for today. Stay tuned for another riveting edition of Cashflows.